I got really into podcasts. I like to learn, but on my own terms.
It's kind of cool because it's like feeding you information.
Exactly.
But you don't know it.
And it's not forcing it down your throat.
Yeah, like when you go, like a good example,
Yeah.
like I'm a college dropout.
Yeah.
Reason I dropped
Same.
out is because like I went, but I'm like sitting there and like people are saying shit and I'm like, yo, I don't care about this.
Yeah.
Why am I sitting here learning this?
Absolutely.
I feel like everyone has a thirst for knowledge.
Yeah.
But it's all different for every single person.
Mm-hmm.
So like you like learning about the Joe Rogan stuff because it's entertaining. It's almost like it's teaching you without directly like forcing it down your throat, like you said.
Yeah.
When you're in the classroom, like learning experience, they're just kind of like, learn this.
Yeah.
So
I come from a very, very traditional family.
Okay.
Like I'm Filipino, that's my background. My mom is very traditional. So it was always out of the question whether I was going to college. It was almost like a yes.
Yeah.
Always. In my head, because I am hearing that for all like 16, 17 years of my life prior to going, I was just like, okay, I'm going to college. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to college. So when the time came, right, and keep in mind, I was in high school. I had like a 2.1 GPA.
Wow.
So I was already kind of struggling with school. It's not like I was dumb or anything. It wasn't necessarily, it didn't fit me the way I learned, the way I process information. So I went to college just because mom wanted me to go. And I remember after a month of being in there, I was kind of like, this sucks. Like, this is shitty. Why do I want to be here? So I stopped going. Technically, I was still enrolled in college. And I just didn't want to tell my mom that I wasn't doing it. So I would just like literally wake up at 8 a.m, drive to the college and fucking like hang out for however long and then just go home. Like, oh, school's cool. I finally got the courage to tell her like, hey, this is not for me. This is not helping me grow as a person or learn. And it was obviously a very tough decision, but you have to do what's best for you sometimes.
I think people have to just find the right thing that they like.
Yeah.
And because of what's laid out there for us, like if I were to just have listened to people and not done stuff I liked, I would have been so unmotivated. I would have been so unhappy. But because I decided like, hey, fuck what everyone else says, I'm just gonna go and figure what I like to do out. It like helped me because now I'm like I'm motivated by me now.
Yeah.
There's no one else that motivates me.
And you don't answer to anybody.
And that's probably the best part. But like, it's like I'm self-motivated, self-sufficient. That's like a huge part of it.
Yeah.
So that's something great that I would recommend everyone because like it does amazing things for your happiness in general.
Mm-hmm.
It was me, my little brother, and my other friend. We went to the mall, and one of our friends was actually small enough to fit into the thing, into the little like prize thing. So we opened it up. He went to the prize thing, crawled in, grabbed a bunch of stuffed animals, and we went door to door selling these things. We would knock, like, hey, we're trying to buy a pool. You want to buy a stuffed animal? Whatever. We ended up making like $300, and we're like 9 years old, so $300 is like a lot. Because I remember we did it once. We made like 60. So we doubled up and we're like, we could sell these we were selling them for like $5. But because we were kids, we were like, we could sell them for more. We ended up making like $300 and we bought our pool. And that was like my first like entrepreneurial venture. And I was like 9 years old.
Okay, so like you said, first thing is finding a product. Second thing is marketing. What was the third thing? Did we say it or no?
It's like testing.
Testing, kind of seeing what works, what
So
doesn't
if
work.
we were to go into like phases, it would just say find a product. And when I say product, I mean like loosely. So it could be a product or a service. You can market anything. Because one of my businesses is a service-based business. So a product or service that you think people need, that you feel like there's a gap in the market for. 2 is you market it, show it to the world, and then 3, if people like it, you scale it. It's like that simple. So it would be like 3 steps. So it's product, market, scale.
Because a lot of like the kids nowadays, I feel it's weird saying kids because I feel like I'm a kid, but a lot of the kids nowadays think to scale a social media agency, you have to go and talk to businesses, call. And I wasn't necessarily the type of person that liked that. So I did 2 things to grow it a lot. 1, I did a lot of networking because when you meet people and you meet business owners in a setting when a business owner is at work, they're in work mode. They don't want to entertain like a kid trying to sell them. When you cold call someone, it's the same thing. Like you might catch them at a bad time. They might be at dinner. So I would go to these networking events and meet business owners and talk to them outside of that setting where they're more open to hear me pitch. And that was one way to do it. And then naturally those people give you referrals. Those people send you business. If they don't take your business, they send you business. So every connection is important. But I also did like a cool little trick where I was sending emails out to just a bunch of business owners, sending my website and then retargeting all of them with Facebook ads. So now all these business owners are like, who's this kid that keeps popping up on my Facebook? And they have no idea how I ended up on their computer. But I sent them an email, got them all that. So it was like a pretty like sneaky trick, but it worked. And that's how
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this kind of stuff was way harder to do years ago. Like there were so many different like gatekeepers to different industries, and you wouldn't be able to do the things that you do today. So it's like the opportunity is out of this world.
Oh, for sure. I'm mad because like I'm like still young, but I still feel like I got in late.
Bro, that's insane.
Right? Like this time in like spaces, we literally have access to everything.
I know. So, I still can't get over like 17-year-old just making absolute bank right
just
now.
Crushing it, right.
So then you're just like, wait a second, 17-year-old. So if they're doing it, then that means I can do it too. At any age, whether it's 25, whether it's 55.
The landscape has just changed. And like it's crazy because you can do it fast. It's not like it takes a year.
Yeah.
I've seen people that have done it in like a couple months, 3 months, 4 months. They just learn. They spend the first 2 months just learning, locked in the room learning, and the next 2 months building. Because you can build a 6-figure business in like a month.
Like networking is kind of like sales. It's a contact sport. Like you have to go and meet as many people as possible. A lot of people make the mistake to go and network. I want to go network, and they only try to meet people that are above them. And I understand what they're saying. People are not being mean. If someone's above you and they don't want to network with you, they're not being mean. You're just not worth their time. You're not providing them any value. You have to go and provide value to people. And the people you'll be able to provide the most value for are people that are kind of in the similar positions as you. So you would go and just meet as many people as possible.
Because here's the thing, it's not like mentors are gonna be like, yo, do this, and you do it, and you become rich. It's not, life is not that easy.
Yeah.
But when you're around someone that's done it, you see all their habits and mannerisms, and you pick that up. A good example is a lot of successful people have very similar traits, right? That's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's not just like they were all born like that, and that's how they ended up, and like, oh, life chose them. Like, no, like they had to like build this over time, because I was like the most undisciplined piece of shit ever. Like I was just like, I had no plan. I was like, oh, cool.
So not only did you have no plan, but you were also undisciplined as shit.
And here's like a huge thing I learned from Ty. It's called like a conscientiousness score, and I guess it's divided into like 4 things that determine like how successful someone is. And it's like prudence, which is pretty much decision making; diligence, which is hard work; perfectionism, making sure you don't make mistakes; and organization. So it's prudence, diligence, perfectionism, and organization. And like conscientious people will have these traits, and that deter, like it's like correlated with someone being successful. These 4 traits.
And a lot of it is stuff that you can create. Like you said, you are an undisciplined shit. So if you can do it, then anybody can do it.
Oh, 100%. And you just have to learn. And there's a bunch of tools. Like I started using a planner. I never thought I would use a planner, especially me, because I'm just kind of like, oh, cool, like let's go do stuff. Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this shit, like I need to remember when I have 8 a.m. meetings. I need to plan for those days.
Planner. Like you start using resources to just help you.
Yeah.
And some people just have it on top of their head. I realized I didn't. So planner.
Let's say I have a friend, and everyone knows this guy. I kid you not. Everywhere we go, like 6 people will stop and recognize him. Like, hey, I know you. Hey, I know you. But here's the thing: he goes out every single night, whether it's to a party, whether it's to a networking event, whether it's a social gathering. He'll go out with the intentions of just meeting people, being friends with everyone. So wherever he goes, he's like recognized. Just go out and like, don't be afraid to talk to people, but keep in mind, you have to do it a lot.
So that.
And then it's about the marketing too, right? Making sure that the marketing's on point, so that the good product can get in the right hands.
Yes. But I think more important than anything, and again, this could be my opinion. I think most people will agree with me though. It's if you have something that fixes a problem in the world.
Yeah.
It's like impossible to not make it work.
Because the need's there.
The need's there.
Yeah.
Like Uber. Uber's a perfect example. Like, holy shit! Like now, I use Uber so much. I don't know what I would do without Uber. Like,
I know, right? I couldn't even imagine.
I couldn't imagine. I'm so happy that I didn't travel before Uber. Because like, what would I do? Like, taxi?
Yeah.
Rip off.
I know, right?
Rip off. So Uber just changed like the game.
Because it filled like the biggest need that wasn't being talked about.
Airbnb, huge gap.